Okay, let's take a look at this plug outlet very swiftly here. As you can see, I've already taken off the covering. All right, you got the two main screws here along with the covering two screws here. All right, so everything's already off and exposed. And what seems to be the issue with this outlet here is a outlet failure, a plug failure. As you can see here, it's the red light flashing. And with the reaction from the video here, the camera on the phone, it shows that the green light is flashing, but in reality, it's not. It's just a reaction, between the electricity frequency and the phone camera here. So the green light is steady, but the red light is flashing. So the issue with this plug here, it's not resetting. That's the resetting button here, right? As you can see, I'll try to zoom in for you guys here. That's the reset and that's the test. All right, so this outlet is not resetting, nor is it testing. Okay, so it's basically letting you know here on the front of the outlet here. I'm not too sure if you guys can see that too. I'll try my best. But it says replace if red. All right. So this is what you're supposed to do with this outlet here. If it's red or if it's flashing red, it's supposed to be replaced. Okay. Because there's a failure with this right here. So it's not an electrical problem. There's no need to panic like most people. A majority of people would think that it's something that's electrical and they think that this will be pretty costly. However, all it is just an outlet failure. And this can be easily replaced, right? So as you can see here on the side, it's just two screws holding this in and two latchets, right? So you just got to unscrew those two screws and sort of ply this off here with the flathead screwdriver or so, or butter knife or whatever, And basically you do the same thing on this side here. All right. As you can see, there's two screws right there. Okay. And then the two latchets. So it's a very easy job to do. Not expensive at all. You just got to go and pick up another one of these relay plug outlets here. You can find that at your local Walmart or your local hardware store, what have you, that's in your neighborhood. And just do the process that I've just mentioned, right? Just take off these four screws here, apply those latchets off with a Phillips head flat screwdriver, and put the new one on. Put the four screws on, make sure that it's in their latchets here. Make sure to get the right size or the right kind, I'm not too sure what level of voltage that your outlet will take for your household. But, you just got to make sure that it's the same level of voltage and the same brand, I guess. These are pretty universal. So I don't think that there's like a particular outlet that you can buy. But that's all you have to do for this right here. So it's a minor job. It's very easy. Anyone can do it. I would advise anyone to shut off the power before they do this, so they don't get electrocuted. But it's a non-professional job. You just got to know what you're doing, or at least have an idea of what you're doing. But definitely shut off that electrical power that's shooting to this right here before you start anything. You don't want to get electrocuted. All right, so that's what it is. The person was a little worried that it could be something pretty costly or expensive, They thought that it was a electrical problem with the wiring behind the walls. And I said, well, I see the light flashing on the outlet here, and it's probably minor. It's probably just the outlet failure, and you just got to replace it. That's all you got to do. So I'm not too sure what the price is of these things. I haven't really looked it up, but I don't think that it's expensive, you know. So whenever you have an issue like this right here, your relay, it's not, pressing as it should, or you can't test it with this right here, and then you see the red light flashing, more than likely it's a outlet failure. That's all it is. It's an outlet failure. It's not anything with the wiring behind it, or your wiring is not fried or anything or something like that, and you have to replace the wiring behind the wall, which can cost you over $1,000 easily. This right here is just probably a few bucks, no more than 100, I don't think. And you can do it yourself. That's the good thing. So you just got to use precaution when you're doing this. Shut off the electricity, unscrew these 2 screws on the side, and apply these 2 latchets off, and repeat the same on the other side, and that's it, right? And then when you're done with that, you just put it in place. Here's your main screwdriver here. Just put that in right there and screw it back in, right? And then you do the same for the bottom. Okay, and then you put your covering on right here, and these is the 2 smaller screws that goes on the covering on the outside. And that's all you do. That's all you do to put this on. And everything should be back to normal. All right. Okay, so this is just a little impromptu video to show you guys, just in case if you're unaware why your, relay outlet is not working as it should. This could be the main problem. You probably just need to replace this right here. That's all. Right? Pretty easy to do. Not expensive at all. You can go find this piece at your local hardware store, or Walmart, or Target, or whatever store you choose to go to that sells these things. All right. Okay.